Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny, and as always, I thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me. Last week, Denise left me a very nice comment on how good my hair was looking as it's growing out, and in response, I showed up straight from the swimming pool today with really horrible looking hair, so apologies. Okay, what are we talking about? We are talking about the Sinclair Patterns Calypso top. Santa from Sinclair Patterns very kindly gifted this pattern to me along with a few others. She reached out to me a couple weeks ago asking if I would be interested in doing a collaboration where she would just gift me a pattern and I could do my review. So that's what we're doing. What she did actually was just send me a gift card and let me pick my patterns, which was really awesome. I had been looking at several Sinclair patterns already because I am always on the lookout for patterns that I can use for upcycling my huge stash of old and thrift store t-shirts. Generally speaking, when I'm looking for something like this, I look for a pattern that is already cut into different shapes. Like it's already got smaller pieces that are easier for me to use for my smaller t-shirts or scraps of other t-shirts and stuff like that. In this case, that was exactly what I was going for. So I have a really short clip here of how I sort of determined what fabrics I was going to use for this pattern. So I'll show you that really quickly and then we'll come back and talk about the rest of the t-shirt. So these are the pattern pieces for the front of our Calypso. There's one big piece down here, two stripes, and then this upper yoke piece. In addition to that, I have a sleeve, a back, and a neck binding. So this is what I thought I would do. This is the t-shirt I really want to use. This is my Pink Flamingos t-shirt. And I really want to get as much of this image on the shirt as I can. Since this lower left panel is the largest, I thought I would do something like this. Now this t-shirt doesn't have side seams, so I can open it up a little bit and get this whole, most of this on here like that. So that would be the lower left hand side. Then for this first stripe here, I thought I would use this green color. Get this out so you can see what that looks like. And then also for the top yoke piece, I'm going to use this green color. For the stripe that goes in between there, so there's this one and this one. For this one here, the one that goes in between there, I think I'm going to use this pink t-shirt that I dyed. So I'll use that for the middle stripe. So those are my colorways. And then I think for the neck binding, I will also use the pink. For the back, I can use this whole, the whole back of this t-shirt is big enough to do the back of my Calypso t-shirt, so I'm going to use that. I think, here's my green t-shirt. I think if I pull this down so you can see, I think if I use this t-shirt, I can cut my yoke out of, like this, out of the front piece, and I can cut this diagonal stripe out of the back piece. Then I will have enough over here for my sleeves, like that. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this started and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so I hope that gives you some sort of an idea about what I mean when I look for a pattern that I can use like smaller pieces for, right? I especially because in the first one I showed you there was like a full-size t-shirt, so that was pretty easy. But the one I'm wearing today, and you'll see it here in a little bit, I'll actually go ahead and start showing you some pictures here. This this first one is the one that you saw in that little clip, and then the one I'm wearing right now the graphic piece here on the bottom is actually from a child's t-shirt. So a lot of times I find stuff like that and I want to be able to use it in my t-shirts. So anything that already has like smaller sections in it is a really good pattern for that. Hence the Calypso t-shirt, which you could also make, by the way. There are like a huge number of options you can do with this shirt, and just for the right off the bat, I'll tell you the size range is huge. It goes from US 0 to US 30. It also comes in 3 different lengths: petite, regular, and tall. That's something I have rarely come across in indie patterns. I made this one here in the size 10, and I made it in the petite. She gives you very, very good directions for how to pick out your size, not just your width, but also your length, which I found very interesting and very helpful. I'm really glad that I did go with the petite size in this, because I have to tell you, this is potentially the best fitting t-shirt I've ever made straight out of the box. I mean, I literally made no alterations to this. The shoulders fit me perfectly well. I love the way it fits through the body. The sleeve length is spot on. The body length is spot on. I literally did nothing to it alteration wise. Okay, what else can you do with it? So this is, I made both of my versions are the crew neck version. There's also a hoodie and a cowl neck. It has long sleeves, short sleeves, or even shorter sleeves. It has a regular hem, which is the one I did. It has a drawstring casing hem. It has a ribbed band at the hem. You also have the option of using pockets or no pockets. Now, the other thing she does go into great detail in here is fabric options. Essentially, for this top, because of the pieced nature of it, you don't want to use anything that's too drapey. So probably no like rayon, bamboo, super drapey kind of knit. Like I said, mine are all thrift store t-shirts or old t-shirts from my husband's stash. And I double checked all of them to make sure that they were all relatively similar weight, and also all 100% cotton. So you can also, she also gives directions for doing top stitching on this or not doing top stitching. I did top stitching on the second one. I did not do it on the first one. I have a really quick question for you guys though. Hang on one second. Okay, when I sew something like this, I like to sew it on my serger with a 4 thread. But this is what happens. And I might actually have to take a picture of this and show you. Can you see how the stitching, I don't think it's gonna work. I'm gonna take a picture and put it up here for you. You can see here how the first row of stitching sort of pulls a little bit so you can see the threads. I tried to fix that by messing around with my stitch width and stitch length, neither of which did anything to make that any better. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. This one I'm wearing today, I just sewed on my regular sewing machine and then serged it. But I do prefer using my 4 thread serger, so if anybody knows how to fix that, let me know in the comments. Okay, so as I said, I've made this twice. I have other things I need to sew, but I really loved making this top. It was super fun. I had a lot of fun playing with the different pieces, and now that I know that I really like the fit, I just want to make another one. So these are the fabrics I have for my next one right here. I think these look really cool together. Also, what was I gonna say? Oh, also, I do have like a double knit, and it's like a leopard print double knit that I've had in my stash for a couple of years. I really want to make the sweatshirt version of this, so I have some double knit in my stash, and I have some sweatshirt fleece in my stack of thrift store sweatshirts that I think I can mix together. So I don't know how far I'm going to get on something else, because right now I just want to make another one of these shirts. Okay, so I honestly, I can't say enough good things about this shirt, obviously. Oh, I did forget to say she includes this, which is really cool. This is just like a little chart that you can use to establish where you want to put all your stuff when you're, like, the different sections when you are planning it out, which I thought was really cool. Okay, so the other thing is, I was looking specifically for upcycling ideas when I did this. Sinclair Patterns has several other patterns that I thought would be really good for this same thing. This one here is called the Marley. This one here is called the Mimosa, which looks an awful lot like a sewing workshop dress that I can't remember the name of, but I don't have that pattern. I got this one and I thought maybe not for t-shirts, but I definitely have scraps that are big enough to use in sections on this one. This one here is called the Millie, which I also thought would be really good. The Lotta or Lottie, I'm not sure which, and the Linnea are all really good options for upcycling because they all have smaller sections that you can use for different fabrics. Plus, what I didn't include here is Sinclair also has a number of patterns for men and children also, which would be good for upcycling. While I was there, so I said that Senna gave me a gift card and I just purchased like a few things. Aside from the Calypso, which is the one I've been making, I also did get that Mimosa dress pattern. I got this crew pullover, which I thought was really good. This has a really cool like ruched, like not quite turtleneck, not quite cowl neck, which is something that I personally really like. I did buy this I can't remember. Oh, it's indigo. Huh, can't even remember my own handwriting. The indigo bathing suit. I swim twice a week, hence the lovely hair today. And so I'm always looking for new bathing suits. I stopped buying bathing suits because they're just like stupid expensive. But I always need new bathing suits and I really like this style. So I think I'm going to try to make that one. And then the sandy tunic, which I also really like. I love that asymmetric hem. Also tons of options on that one in terms of collars and necks and whatnot. For those of you who are interested, she also has a free cardigan pattern available on her website. I believe it's called the Harper cardigan. All right, just a quick thank you to Santa for reaching out to me in the first place. This was a very, very fun project. I hope you guys will give it a try. It was super fun and I loved using up my old t-shirts, and as I said before, I'm about to go make another one. Next week we're going to be talking about in the folds sawtell shirt, and I might, if I'm really lucky, I might also get to the in the folds Mornington skirt. We will see. I'm not going to push myself because I have more t-shirts to make. Until next week, I wish you all happy sewing.